All right, first introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ella Ree. I'm contestant number 9. I'm 25 years old and I work in New York City as a financial analyst.
Wow, and how old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
25. I see. And where you from? New York? Like you said, right?
Yes, New York.
Wow. And like, what is the particular things that you do in your job, like as a financial?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I work on the investment side for credit, which means that I analyze leveraged buyout deals, and my role is to decide if my group wants to provide that transaction capital or not. So it's a lot of financial analysis and business analysis.
Oh, wow, so like you're facing like numbers, basically numbers and words like every day.
Yes, lots of data analysis, a lot of trying to understand a business that you may not know a lot about and learning about a new business and a new industry, and actually a lot of presentation skills. A lot of it is you have the thoughts up here, but you need to come up with an argument, right, a thesis that you support this deal and you want to convince your investment committee members to also support this deal.
I see. And what did you study in college? Like, is that the same major that you?
Yeah, so I was a finance major. I took some general business classes and then took more advanced finance classes.
Wow, that's really cool. Like you get to know, like you get to do what you love to do.
Yes.
Is that your dream, like, to as a financial analysis?
Yeah, it was. I knew that I wanted to do something in business ever since I was very young, maybe elementary school, middle school, because I loved math and I was good at writing. And I thought that business combines these two skill sets, but then you also bring in like an external, your own perspective onto things. Something we really value at my firm is different perspectives, a diversity of perspectives, because we think that if there's enough voices around the table, it'll help you make the most informed investment decision.
I see. Do you know that like there are quite a lot of people like they are struggling with like the presentations, public speaking?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice or practice like for them?
Honestly, I wasn't born with, the presentation skills, right? I think a lot of it just comes down to practice and putting yourself out there. And I always like to say that practice quells anxiety. If you do something enough times and you really put yourself in a maybe uncomfortable environment, you'll slowly start to get comfortable.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah. And beside your profession, like during your leisure time, like what kind of activities you like to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I love fitness, so I really like to run, and I also like to do Pilates.
I see. And have you ever had like one of the most embarrassing moments in life that you could never forget?
Honestly, I probably have, but I feel like I don't really remember any that come to mind right now. I think it's also just a testament that I realized something I did was embarrassing, and I'm able to have like the growth to see, okay, maybe that wasn't the best way to approach a situation. Like it's just a constant learning process.
I see. And beside that, like all of us are facing difficulties like on each stage of our lives. Mm-hmm. And what is the biggest difficulty like during this stage of your life, and how would you deal with it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So in my stage, I'm 25. I'm about 3 years out of college. So I've, had 3 years of work experience. So I think a lot of what I'm dealing with right now is I built a really strong foundation in the career that I chose when I was in college, but it's now seeing what are the next steps to advance in my career and what are the kind of more qualitative traits that I need. So actually a lot of it, like I kind of alluded to earlier, is the presentation skills I need. Like when I'm at work and sitting in a boardroom, I need to have the confidence to have an opinion and to voice it and to stand by it. And I think that's a very big reason for why I joined this pageant, is that I can improve these skill sets, and these skill sets that I learned from this pageant will carry on to work, where the confidence that I've built here will help me in the boardroom.
I see. Like, have you ever joined other competition like this?
No, so yeah, this is my first pageant. Yeah.
And you know that like before you sign up for this pageant competitions, you must have like your thoughts, imaginations. Are they the same or different like when you really join the process?
It's interesting because I feel like I actually treated this like a business transaction, because when I evaluate an investment opportunity at work, there's a very long diligence process where you want to make sure you have all the information you need before you make an informed investment decision. So I knew about this pageant, but I wanted to see if this is something first I can handle with my work schedule. So what I did was I contacted someone who participated in a similar pageant on the West Coast, and I got to speak with her for 30 minutes and try to see first if this is even something that aligns. Well, no, just aligns with my work schedule. What were her thoughts? Because she was also, she worked in tech and she balanced that with a pageant at the same time. So I really valued her perspective. And I wanted to know, what she thought going into the process, things she took away, just a lot of burning questions I had. But after a conversation with her and a few other people that I trusted in my life, I came to the decision that this is something I really wanted to do, and I saw a lot of value in.
Like, what is the one value that you're getting out of this throughout our trip, like practices, throughout the competition?
I think just confidence, and confidence can come in a lot of different ways, but even something as simple as like having really good posture, like sitting up. When you're on stage and you're walking with confidence, that just sends such a clear and loud message to the audience that you're confident in yourself, you're graceful, you're comfortable with the situation. So even small things like that you may not normally think about in the workplace. Like now after the week of trainings that we've had with our catwalk instructor Yiling, and like learning how to walk with like a straight back and smiling, I carry that back into the office. The next day I walk in the office with better posture, I smile more. So it's even things like that I found super valuable, because no one at work is telling you have a good posture, smile, right?
Did your colleagues notice any difference? Did they tell you anything about this?
No, they didn't. One of them asked, what I was doing, and I said, I can't make this event because I'm participating in a pageant. And they had a really positive experience. They were like, oh, it's so cool. Yeah, for it.
And what is one book that you wanted to read or you have read so far, like your favorite one?
So currently there's a book that I'm kind of trying to make more progress in. It's called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. I believe it's by the author Brianna West. And it's basically a lot of like short stories where each chapter kind of changes your view on how to think about a certain thing in life. Like the book themes around positivity, reflection, reflecting on maybe challenges you've had or like difficulties you've had in life. And I really like that book because I think it builds a really positive perspective on different things. And each time I read it, I'm just like, wow, like I didn't think about life in this way, and you just learn something new.
Oh, wow. And let's say that you have the chance to go to one place. What is that one place that you wanted to go like desperately?
Yeah, so I really want to go to Japan. So my dad lives in Japan and we didn't grow up together. And I really want to get the chance to visit him and really strengthen our relationship, because so much of my relationship with him has been either virtual or just, living in two different countries. It's been really difficult. So I really want to try to go to Japan, see the country, because I was also born there, so it has a special place in my heart.
Okay. And do you speak Japanese or?
No, I was there from the ages of 0 to 3, so not a lot of Japanese, but I know a few phrases.
So basically, when you grew up with your mom. Okay. And did your parents have any influence? What's the most influential value that they get to you?
Definitely my mom. So my mom was a single mom, and she was an immigrant to this country, and she's just such like an independent and strong woman. And I had the most amazing role model of what a strong, confident woman, independent woman is, with just growing up with her and watching her kind of navigate this country.
I see. And how do you interpret the word of beauty?
Oh, that's such a good question. Wow. I think, well, besides the external factor of it, of, enhancing your features, knowing what you look good in, presenting yourself in a clean and, palatable manner. A lot of beauty comes from the inside, and it's about, showing kindness to people, being empathetic to people from different walks of life, and trying to understand why people are the way they are. And then also coupled with just the confidence that you have in yourself, which also kind of relates back to the first of presenting yourself in a professional, clean manner and just having the confidence to be yourself, right?
Yeah, that's a very good answer. And I hope these answers can spread to many other people so they can learn from you. Okay, so, you are 25,
Okay.
When you enter the competition, do you have any worries that from the younger contestants that you're competing with?
Yeah, I definitely think about the age, because for me, I made the decision to compete in this pageant when I'm 25. I think I have more life experience and maturity. I can't imagine entering this competition at 17 and presenting myself in the same way. With the younger contestants, I've been in their shoes, right? So I know what it feels like to be a 17-year-old in high school and trying to figure out life and, not having the same life experiences that I do. So when I see, our younger contestants, I really try to lend an older perspective and kind of be more of a big sister role to them, because I know what it feels like.
I see. And because when there's a competition, there's winning and losing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you view winning and losing? Do you think what's the chance you think you will win the competition?
Well, I think in life, first of all, I just really like the motto, I never lose. I either win or I learn. And I really stand by that motto, because I think everything is a learning process, no matter the outcome. But on the other side, winning would be such an honor, because it's a recognition of all the hard work that I put into this pageant, and I would be joining a lineage of really strong, accomplished, and confident young ladies from previous years.
Yes, as you know, age doesn't matter. You said, beauty is not only from the outside, it's also from the inside.